Smith Fit Club group call. We have our founding member here, Miss Jo Lynn Eddy, or also known as Grammy. So we are going to really just see where you're at coming into it. Yeah.
Well, I just
Yeah.
honestly got started. Okay. I'm not really into it. I did the intro. I loved it. I listened. Trying to drink more water. That's a big deal. And the exercise part, you're going to have to explain more to me because I really did not detail it yet or
Yeah.
experience it yet.
Yeah. Right. So the exercise part, I know like exercise Brian and I do that those exercises, nobody wants to do those.
Correct.
We've done nobody wants to do this. They're definitely not starting exercises.
Right.
So the starting exercises really are making sure you move all of your joints is really what we're doing. Is there's plenty of information out there. It's like motion is lotion. And there's a whole book that we've looked at, the supple leopard, things like that, that talk about just moving,
Wow.
right? Just moving.
Oh, that's good.
So if you don't move the joints, they tend to tighten up, or then what will happen is another joint is going to start taking over the
Okay.
load. So let's talk about, knee and hip replacements. A lot of times, if you're not holding your weight evenly, you're putting more stress on one side, and the one that's having to do the work
Mhm.
because the other one's not holding, pulling its weight literally. That one that's being overworked is usually the one that's going to be the first one for surgery,
Yeah.
right?
To go.
So, and I've heard people get hip replacements and they feel amazing, but I don't want to go through a surgery. If you can
Exactly.
always,
Yep. And
yeah.
I haven't yet. So hopefully at the grand old age of 66, I'm rocking well, that's not true. Knee surgery years ago, but I think that was from cheerleading accident years and years and
Okay.
45 years ago. My cardiologist did share with me the other day that my walking and working out is like a prescription. And it really kind of slammed me in the face because I didn't look at it as a prescription. And she goes, "You really," and she told me some weight to lose, a number, and everything. That's another reason I joined Smith Fit Club.
Perfect. That, and it's hard work. It is health and fitness. It's hard work. And we've talked plenty of times, there's a lot of things out there, and we'll get to some of the things that people brought to your attention that you've brought to our attention. And
Right.
we can give you the facts on, does this trick really work or not? So
Right.
I look forward to going into those. But yeah, exercise, nutrition, it's sometimes it comes as a last resort to people, and us being in the health insurance world, it's like
Right.
people really do turn to medications before they turn to lifestyle changes. So that's something that we want to help people recognize. Like, oh, you really are in control. You're not a slave to going to the doctor and taking this medication. You choose to do that. Some
Right.
people do. So we want to help walk people either avoid that completely if we
Right.
get them young enough, or let's start making changes now so we can either decrease
Yeah.
dosages or come off of medications that maybe you thought you'd never be able to come off of. So,
And that is true too. She also shared with me, if you lose these 10 pounds at least, then we might can cut back. And I'm already on blood pressure. So I have been for, yeah, probably 30 years. Yeah. Um, but I thought, really? I was shocked. She said that. She goes, yes, you lose 10 pounds or more, and we can look at dropping one of
perfect.
them. So I
And
said, that's big because I'd rather not take it. But
oh yeah.
so it's partly up to me, huh?
It right. And just because I'm in the health insurance, it's for every 10 pounds overweight you are, it's going to cost you $200 to $300 per year in additional medical costs to maintain that extra 10 pounds. I know it sounds weird, but that's where, being a fitness influencer, but also being an insured health agent, it's
Right,
like, hey,
right,
you're like, woohoo, like you don't need to spend this money. Something's got to get your
right,
attention.
right. But also, when you use the word maintain 10 pounds, most of us don't want to keep it.
Right. Everybody, how
We
do
would
I get
like
rid?
to get rid of it. So I don't want to keep doing the same things over and over. And so that's why too. Smith Fit Club, what I've looked at is amazing. And I am amazed about how you and Brian work on it. And I know you both have done it for years and years, which is amazing too. But that's why you can bring so much now to all of us. We'll just listen and do apply. So I'm excited about it. And I will do better. You can start. I read about the ankles, hips, and of neck, shoulder, whatever. And that's the only thing, but really applying it like on the floor, or do I have to buy some equipment, or can I just use a chair? What's the, what's the techniques of just carrying it? Do I have to go to a gym? Can I do it at home?
Perfect question. Really, the stuff that's pre-recorded is meant to do with as minimal possible, like in the floor, in a chair. And then if we decide to progress past there, we might use a wall or a countertop, right? Where
Okay.
everything that you have access to, there's people who already have things, like already have tools. Now, if you bring that to our attention, things you already have, I can tell you how to use it better. Because that's, something that I've looked into for years. I think all these tools that are out on the market that can make you feel better or improve your health, I've probably read it or looked into it or
Exactly.
purchased it, right? Because I've just been interested in it. So, and just said this on the last call, but one of the main things that I find with equipment is most of, especially ab equipment, it comes with a diet.
Exactly. Exactly.
So a lot of the exercise equipment also comes with a diet, and this is a statement that'll always be true. You can never out train a bad diet. It's going to catch up to you. You can't walk enough miles to eat bad food and look good. Now, if you're super young, you might think you're getting away with it, but
Right.
if we
Right.
looked at your insides, it probably shows a different story.
Oh,
But yeah, but even diet pills that I used to get at the drugstore, that's,
right. Right.
I would open it up and there's this little piece of paper wadded in there, and I open it up and it's like the meal plan.
Yep.
Right? So none of this stuff is truly claiming to do it for you. It's discipline and then how to use the tools correctly. So,
I,
yeah.
okay. What about the bands? I have seen, or you had at one time, the
Mhm.
bands. Are they best for your ankles or shoulders, or what? Are they good for all of it? I really don't. I didn't do that really like I should have. So now I'm asking. I
Okay.
have them.
So bands are light and easy.
Right, right.
So it's a great starting point for a lot of people. Bands, you can also kind of adjust the tension.
Mhm.
If you don't wanna work as hard, then you don't stretch it as
There you
far.
go. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
it's kinda cool where you can, "Ooh, I can stretch it a little
Right,
further," and you can almost see and feel the gains a little bit easier if you've never really looked for them.
right.
Because growing up in sports, like, I could feel my body's working better or not, or I'm
Yeah.
stronger or not, like, it's something I've trained to look for
Right.
in myself and to know my body and understand it. But for somebody who wants to have that same body IQ or body awareness, bands are a great start.
That's
Now,
good.
they can be dangerous, so I wouldn't get any bands that have like metal clips on them. I know
No,
there's
no.
some that we use for
These
our
are
athletes, but the
those
little
are the
bit.
ones you did a long time ago in
Okay,
your program. Yeah. I
so
forgot what it's called.
yeah, the mini bands.
Right, right.
Yeah, so
Different colors, color
yeah,
coded. Yeah.
perfect. Yeah, so you can increase the strength. So the mini bands are great. For I would say I can. They're great for hips,
Okay.
and they're really great for I can train feet mechanics better with bands
Oh,
because
wow.
I
See,
can
I wouldn't have
teach
thought
it.
of that.
Right. But, like so the main thing I can teach with bands for the feet is that you people are not born flat-footed, they just have their weight distributed on the inside of their feet, and it pushes their arches down.
Wow. You could
So
help them with
so
that.
the
That's
bands
amazing.
right, so the bands actually train their feet instead of falling on the arches, it trains the outside of their feet to really respond because sometimes those muscles don't really respond because the inside muscles are
Right.
working so hard. So you get those outside muscles on the feet to respond. And there's like 30, I can't remember the exact number, but it's 30 something joints per foot.
Wow.
There's a lot of little small muscles also in there that if you don't use them, they kind of, I don't say well, they turn off. They do turn off. So it teaches them how to position their feet properly and to put resistance so they have a high, their arch is restored. And then you train your body to walk in the arches. And then in about 2 to 3 weeks, we don't have arch problems.
Wow. That's very interesting. I've never thought of that, but the phrase, if you don't use it, you lose it. I
Mhm.
mean, if we start working, my other little equipment is just weights. And truthfully, they're only 2 pounds each. But for me, and only after some repetition, I can feel it. I don't know how many times should I, even if they're 2 pounds each in each hand, how many times of repetition should I do? Start
Okay.
with. How should I start with?
You're going to love this answer. Mm. With the lighter weight stuff, you're not really targeting big muscles.
Yeah.
You're targeting smaller muscles and you're targeting tendons, where are just as important.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say a set or like how many reps, like do
Okay.
10. I would say go as long as you
There
can,
you go. Okay.
right? So until you feel like a good burn,
Yeah.
and like the closest thing I can relate it to is if your leg falls asleep and it kind of gets that pins and needles, it's kind of intense, but like right when it kind of like slows down, like that's the same type of
Wow.
sensation you can
Okay.
get when your muscles are like, okay, I'm awake now.
Okay.
Um,
Maybe the other day we had a
yeah, it was like 2.5, close to 3 minutes with 5 pound weights for a long time.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, that's a good reference.
And I'm gonna tell you straight where I got that from. It was my 6th grade middle school volleyball and softball coach. Volleyball, softball players need good shoulders. Hold your arms in a T position for 3 minutes. That was part of our
Oh,
warm up
wow. Now see,
with
that's
nothing.
very relatable,
Right.
though. I can
space it out because what you're doing is you're
Yes. Tendons can only be trained with time under tension. So you
okay.
gotta put them in tension for a period of time. 3 minutes. Like if we're talking about planks, like 90 seconds. Physically, you're not gonna benefit for more than a 90-second plank. If you're an athlete, a 2-minute plank, but the Guinness World Book of Records says a 10-hour plank. But that's a that's a that's a that's stupid, but
nobody's
that was full on, this is a mental thing,
Right, right.
right? That has nothing to do with strength. That was a mental,
Right, right.
don't give up when the pain hurts. So don't give up because the pain hurts.
Right.
The pains, and that is stupid. Don't try a 10-hour plank unless you're getting paid for it or something crazy. Don't do it. But really, 2 minutes for an elite athlete is the most, and I've just everyday walking around human, if you can do a 90-second plank, like you're in the
That's
top
serious.
10%, like
And
you're
you'd be
good.
surprised how long 90 seconds.
Yes. And when you try these things, one thing that I've always had to tell myself, especially with time, is as soon as I decide to stop, the pain stops. So is it gonna last for hours? So, like, I can go another 5 seconds, I can maybe do it another I'm not gonna hurt 2 days from now because I held it another 5
10
seconds,
seconds.
just that 5
Right.
seconds, like so that's one of, just a mental trick when you start exercising because it's as much mental as it is a physical thing. Because if "Oh, this pain will stop as soon as I stop, and I'll be okay if I do 2 or 3 more," actually will feel better, right?
Okay. I know that's good. Okay. One other thing about exercise, excuse me, walking. How long, how far? Morning, night, evening, noon,
Direction.
direction.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we can dive into walking. Like, that can be, I mean, really baseline, you should be able to move continuously for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if we're not there, that'll be a first checkpoint.
That's good because I got that.
Perfect. And then in that 10 minutes, you can look at, well, how far am I walking in that 10 minutes? And then maybe you walk a little bit further in that same 10-minute
Exactly.
window. And now you're exerting yourself harder, your heart's responding differently.
Right.
Going longer than 20 minutes, there's different energy systems in your body.
Okay.
So when you start going longer walks, your body will be really good at storing energy for long walks, which comes in the form of fat. We don't want that. So
Okay.
20 minutes is about as
I can
most
do
as I
that.
would
That's
go.
good.
And then if you can measure how fast
Walk.
how far are you going in that 20
Right.
minutes, and then try to go a little faster.
Right.
Or if you say I do a mile in 12 minutes, well then let's try to do it in 11 minutes. Let's do a little faster. And then if you don't have all the time to walk, well, all day long we go forward. We don't go backwards, and we don't go side to side. So even if you did just side steps down your hallway, you don't have to go outside and walk side step crab walks throughout the street, but moving side to
Yeah.
side.
We do this.
Yeah, that's a
You
good
go
place.
Sideways. And it's amazing how much that really helps.
Yes.
See, and that's not something I've ever thought of, really.
Now I will say, just from experience, walking incline on a treadmill too much will strain your Achilles and it will cause a lot of heel pain. So I don't like always walking on an incline. Like, if you
Right.
have to walk on a treadmill, you wanna do a small incline, because if it's flat, it almost pulls you a little bit, so you're not really doing your steps. If you have just a 0.5% of an incline or the lowest, it makes it more on you.
Okay.
But if you can go outside, natural peaks and valleys and hills and stuff that you come across are plenty. But that high incline on a
Don't do.
treadmill,
Eh,
it's like, this is great until now you are, but just like you're walking forward. Like, if you walked 10 minutes forward and then you walk 5 minutes backwards, then you won't have the ankle pain, but who's gonna do that?
Wow, though. I mean,
It
that's pretty
You're
cool.
creating imbalances.
That is very
And
interesting about walking
yeah,
backwards and sideways. That's
yeah.
neat.
And then we'll talk about just the impact. When your feet hit the ground, it's sending vibrations through your bones, and your bones become harder because of it.
Very good. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes. So it will increase bone density. So it is a great
And
exercise
at
for
my
that.
age, it is a big deal.
Abs- And the younger you are, you want to start building it now, because you'll have more to pull from
Well,
later.
it
Yeah,
happens.
it will. It's a part
Like, I
of.
mean,
And then we can talk about the food that
that's
makes
what
it
I
go
wanted to go.
faster.
That's the next subject, though, food. Sodium, salt, too much. Fruits, how often, really? And which fruit's best? And which meat's best? I want to know what's the best.
The best. Let's see. So salt and sodium, we'll
Okay.
start there. Um, Adding salt to food, like fruit and vegetables, salt and sodium, salt that you add, not a problem. You're not. I don't think people really can salt food with real salt enough to have a sodium problem. It's the That's my opinion, right?
Okay.
It's the hidden salt, or preservatives come off as sodium. It may not be table salt, but it's sodium. Let's cheat for a second. So sodium is an actual chemical that's on the periodic table, like oxygen. It's a mineral your body needs. It's found to help nerve function, muscle contraction, and fluid balance.
Okay.
So that's the main. You're an
Important.
athlete,
Yeah,
right?
balance.
You're an athlete, this is important. So salt, the human, it's
Yeah,
human.
yeah.
Human, yeah. So salt is a combination of sodium and chloride. So it's about 40% sodium and 60% chloride. So that's the salt and sodium difference.
So it's truly not horrible for you. I mean,
You have to
anything
have
and
it.
You need
You
exactly.
have to have salt
Okay,
and sodium.
okay, good.
Let's
My
see.
granny, she used to love her salt. I mean, to literally shake it in her hand and even eat it, she loved salt, and I thought,
well,
"Granny, you make it good."
I've
Yeah, I've heard of that. Exactly. I can say yeah.
Right. And salt itself is fine. You can reduce your sodium intake by reducing the salt, but the big problem is the hidden sources. So baked goods have extra sodium in there. So and then yeah,
like he gets his beef is from the cow.
Right.
Ton of salt. But if you're eating burger from that, it's kind of the difference.
Yeah.
Where's your source, your
That
nutrition, your food coming from? If you put salt on a watermelon, you
oh, and
yeah,
well, no, just I get it. I get that. Pro Meat's already processed.
processed
It's already full.
because they're gonna put
Preserved.
preservatives,
Exactly. Gotcha.
preservatives, MSG, processed food. So
I
if it
gotcha.
has a long shelf life, it's gonna have extra
Definitely.
sodium.
There you go. I
So if
gotcha.
that's a
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, it's good to figure that one out. Uh, but now but back to the best. I really do. I'm the best fruit and what time? Morning or night or noon, you know?
so fruit is a sugar that gives you energy. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Your body wants it. Your body needs it. Mornings really good because if you think
Best. It's
about
best, isn't
fueling
it?
your yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think about fueling your car, you're gonna put gas at the beginning of the trip, not the end of the trip, because you may not make it to the end.
That's right.
So having it early, it also has good fiber in it. So really raw, so uncooked fruits and vegetables,
Right.
right? Is great throughout the day. There's eating late at night, anything late at night can disrupt sleep patterns, but that's, a case by case basis. So really fruit anytime works.
Okay.
Fruit is really good right after workouts.
Okay.
Because so if when you go on your walk and your body feels, okay, I just
Yeah.
exerted energy, you're taking the glucose out of your bloodstream. And so you're burning it first. And then once that's burnt up, then your body goes to a second source, which is usually protein or fat, right?
Okay.
Okay, so um, replenishing that sugar right away means tomorrow when you go for your workout, it's going to go through that first, and
Okay.
it's not going to tap into your. Because sometimes it'll burn muscle fuel. Yeah. So yeah, so you're
Okay.
preserved, and it'll help recover the muscles and everything quicker. You've heard about probiotics in your gut. Okay. Prebiotics create your probiotics, and prebiotics are made from fruits and vegetables. And if you want a variety, like if you want to build a team of, stomach army that's in there like protecting you, you want to have as much variety as you can in there. So that's where I'll show you where the seasonal guide is, because God provides us a rhythm, right? So when you think of the fall, you think of, apples, they kind of last a little bit longer, right? Potatoes, more rooted type foods, squash, and those things start to become more, they're more available at the
Okay.
grocery
Right.
store
Right.
because they're in season and this is the best time of year to have them.
Right.
And they're usually on sale. So
Oh,
that helps.
Yeah.
In the springtime, it's more of your citrusy, those type fruits and vegetables. And there's a rhythm. So I've put a calendar together the first of every month as a Smith Fit Club member. I'm going to give you a list.
Well, I'll look at it now.
Yes. There's your motivation. It is seasonal. It's, mhm, yeah. And then in the same thought process, if I'm only feeding my probiotics, 5 things and I only eat
Right.
celery, it's my favorite. I only eat bananas and you're not taking a
Oh, yeah.
variety, well then like you're not gonna have the options in your stomach
You're
to
limiting.
build. You're limiting your building blocks
I get
to
that. I
probiotics.
understand that.
And the probiotics, your stomach, your gut health, is brain health, and it all works in one system.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, when we have our massages and it is a cleansing day because we're about to get mashed on, so we don't wanna have full bellies, right? So
Exactly.
number 1, so we usually have maybe not a full fast, but we're fasting, we're skipping
Right.
we're putting a lot of distance between food and the
That's right.
massage, but once the massage starts, it's a fruit tray and a veggie tray.
I'll have that.
We have it out, and we get all the colors, so if you can get 5 colors a day,
That's good. Yeah.
so that tray has, purple grapes, it's got strawberries, it's got red, and then we have yellow pineapple, then we have orange carrots, and then we have green broccoli, and there's a couple more green things.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
that's 5 different colors right there in those 2 things, and the 3 of us hammer it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's, we do that, at least once a month, probably start doing that more. The boys love it too. You go. Water Very true. Melons, yeah, it's not, you're right. Watermelon, yeah, it is hydrating, and I'll do this after you were there, after my pregnancies, I wanted was it watermelon because the fluid retention after the surgery and all the medicine that was in me, I swelled up, so the watermelon helps relieve that,
It's
right?
good.
And then
Yeah.
the pineapple that I ate helped with the inflammation, so I maybe go a little bit longer before I needed the pain medicine 'cause the C-section
Right.
is painful, but it would help with inflammation, so
Right.
I wouldn't need the big, strong anti-inflammatory medication that they gave me to handle pain. It would help subside it a
Wow.
little bit,
Okay.
and you're not overloading your body with chemicals. Now, I used them. I had a surgery in the abdominals, so I used the medication, but it helped
Absolutely.
me recover a
Sa-
lot better, a lot safer.
Safe. Yeah. That makes sense, though. That
Mhm.
and just reading your list already, I'll do better. I will look at it and following. I mean, this is good for our health. That's it too. Not only feel good, we wouldn't mind looking good or skin clear. It'd be nice. Just other things. But this has been awesome. I don't know if we're about to wrap up. I just wanted to share once we get our body in order and doing the best we can and what we learn, then the spiritual part. And those are my desires and goals, the first, be the godly lady that God's called me to be. And then second, to be in shape and be a good example, be a good soldier,
Yeah.
warrior, you know, and that's all I wanted to share. You can tie it up, but I'm going to do this right quick. The few verses that are to me special, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. And God has given me that over many years, and he still keeps telling me, apply it, live it, know it, believe it, show it. And the other verses, when I'm praying and I'm thanking God for his word, and I am so thankful for his word, then these verses come out of my heart and mind. Psalm 119:11, and I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. And the other verse that comes out of my heart to God is, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light into my path. And I just wanted to share that too, because I firmly believe that I should work toward my health because I care The last thing, Philippians 2:15, the very last part is part B. And he asked us, God, Jesus, all of the Holy Spirit asked us to shine like stars in the universe. That's why a lot of times on my messages to y'all about the grandsons or whatever, I put stars because to me, y'all are stars and I'm very thankful. And I want to be a star to y'all. Shine. Okay, now you can
That
wrap
was
up the health part.
perfect. Thank you. Thank you for that. And you I did look up this story real quick this morning because I didn't know when it was going to pop up, but it's out of Kings. And it's when Elijah, he gets depressed. And okay, he's in depression. And God tells him to eat and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Eat, go to sleep. Because to break yourself out of strongholds, it requires energy and you got to be able to fuel yourself for the mission. So God told him to rest and eat. So then he'd have the strength to pursue the mission. So if anybody wants to finish that, it's in Kings, First Kings 19. So until if God has a calling on you and you're too overweight, you can't, help anybody. Because I've seen horrible videos online of just parents overweight and like the baby carriage starts rolling away and they can't run and then they fall down and it's running towards the road. I don't know if it's AI made or not. I don't think it is. It's not, but to not be healthy
That's
enough to
terrifying.
pursue the mission and it's and if we, you don't have to be shopping cart with your kid in it. Can't move to get it. So
Mm.
to fuel your body to have the strength for the mission.
That's that's serious and that's awesome.
Yes.
But through that scripture too, not thought about it, and this is what we need to cover to wrap it up.
Mhm.
Rest, sleep.
Oh,
How much really
how much?
do we really, I'm 66 and
Mhm.
I've got to where I think, well, if I can get 5 good hours, I'm okay.
Mhm.
But I can tell if I get those extra 1 or 2 more that I do feel better. So how
Yeah.
much is good for let's say a 40-year-old, don't say a 60.
Yeah. So, I wrote the book years ago
You
on
did?
sleep,
Yeah.
and the older you get, the less you can go without sleep. But it's really 6.5
Okay.
tends to be that. So if you get closer to
That's
6, okay,
good.
but about 6.5
Would be good.
is good. Now we can deep dive into quality of sleep. So basically, are you dreaming or not?
Yeah.
And if you're not dreaming, there's probably some kind of block. So now usually like some type of intermittent fasting, like eating windows,
Yeah.
that can help
That
regulate sleep
I've been trying
schedule.
to apply that better too. And y'all do speak on that, the fasting.
Mhm.
It's dynamite. It is. It will explode if you will do it.
Yes, and
If you will apply it.
absolutely. And it's the fastest way. Anybody who thinks they need to cut out chemicals or certain things in their diets, like if you start fasting, cut it all out, then you can really get some clarity. Because you know, you're if you're fighting inflammation all the time or you
Mhm.
got gut
Mhm.
health issues
Yeah.
or you're not sleepy, you're not gonna hear God talk back to you.
Yeah.
And if you're doing everything you're supposed to and you're pursuing
Trying
everything,
to.
it's gonna block it. So it's just pursuing, just getting unblocked and getting where you need to be every
That's
way
good, Courtney,
possible.
because honestly, I had not looked at, my health blocking hearing from God. That's really good. I've not really thought of that. But when I'm like, oh, my stomach hurts, I
It's
may
hard to be
get.
like, "Praise Jesus. My stomach hurts."
Yeah.
It's
It,
difficult.
oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Thank you for sharing that. I've not really looked at it that way. That's
Well,
good.
good. I hope we can change perspective. That's the main thing.